Hello, this is Gail Schuler, and I believe I am still the reigning Empress of the United States. We have a serious problem. The Jesuits apparently have decided the way they can negate my reign is by making me unable to communicate with my men. And obviously, how can I be a reigning Empress if I'm unable to communicate with my men effectively regarding how to rule the country? And they've made it so that my men are unable to safely email me or contact me through Skype, so the only communication I have is the brain-to-brain communication, which has been highly unreliable. And this is how I believe they've done this. They have used my sister Sandra Metcalf herself or her Jesuit clones to install trigger and loophole programming on all the computers worldwide, especially the computers at Church of Gail. Apparently, when my sister took over Church of Gail, she messed up the computer systems with trigger and loophole programmings. Now, the way trigger and loophole programmings work, if you go to my gabrielchana.com/law.666.htm, which is a link I mentioned at the beginning of this video. If you look at sections 59 to 61, it explains how trigger and loophole programmings work. Basically, a loophole programming is like spyware that the Jesuits put into our computers, where they are able to get into our computers and have access to our computers through the spyware, where they can literally take over the computer programming and reprogram that computer according to the Jesuit specifications. And this is what they've done. What's really bad is they've gotten into our person programs. A person program under conspiracy law is the computer program that our medical doctors use to protect us from Jesuit medical treachery. You see, Jesuits have the technology now where they can use computer satellite technology to induce long-distance heart attacks, use brain control, give you amnesia so you don't remember things. And what they have done is, we had a traitor on our nanotechnology research team who was working secretly with the Jesuits and with my sister Sandra Metcalf to install this loophole and trigger programming on all of my men's person programs, and they've also put it into I believe the computers worldwide. So we've got a serious malware problem with Jesuit malware, which has infected all of our computer systems. And it's gotten so bad now, they've set up a program on my men that if my men try to contact me, it will give them a heart attack, or else they'll stop breathing, or they're going to get cancer, a rapidly moving cancer, or something catastrophic will happen to them. So the reason my men cannot contact me is because of the loophole and trigger programming which Jesuits have installed on their person program. So the person program, which controls their bodily functions, is contaminated with Jesuit malware, which this program is instructed to cause them to die if certain events happen. So they've got a program like set up on Matthew McConaughey. I understand Matthew McConaughey is near death right now because of this person program. And what happened, you know, when Terrance was on Skype with me, he got really quiet. Well, the reason he got quiet is because he discovered that the more he talked to me on Skype, the more Matthew McConaughey and some of the other men on my marriage list, all of a sudden they couldn't breathe. It was like, and Terrance figured out that the Jesuits had installed some sort of trigger programming at Church of Gail, so that if he Skyped with me or tried to send me any message, it would immediately launch a trigger program that would explode onto like Matthew McConaughey and cause Matthew McConaughey to have a heart attack or to stop breathing, or cancer would just go wild through his body. And so he had to stop. This is why they cannot communicate with me, because of the trigger programming. basically the computers are all Jesuit controlled in the world right now, including the computers at Church of Gail. Here's what we need to do. My men cannot contact me until we fix this problem. They've been trying to fix it by working with the computers we currently have, trying to go in there and fix the, I don't know what they're doing, like system restore or system recovery, but they're trying to go in there and fix all this malware. But every time they go in there to fix it, it's like the Jesuits have set up triggers so that if they go in there to fix it, it causes more malware to explode. So it's like nothing is working. Okay, here's what we need to do. We need to, first of all, find any good computers that have no malware in it, no Jesuit malware, no trigger or loophole programming, to replace all of the Jesuit. I'm basically going to call these Jesuit computers, okay? They used to be our computers, but the Jesuits have given them so much malware now, they're beyond repair. In other words, let's just give up on these computers altogether. Quit even working with these computers. We're going to destroy these computers. If we're going to, I don't know, if we got to burn them or what do we have to do, they're going to be gone. I'm going to make it law that any computer that has Jesuit malware in it must be destroyed. You may say, oh, but that's terrible because everything in the world is relying on, well, here's how we're going to do it. First, if we have to build it from the bottom up, from scratch, we're going to build, get a good computer, start building good computers, and we're going to put shields around these computers, and we're going to also, when we build these computers, we're going to put it into their programming that if any Jesuit works on that computer, that Jesuit will be killed on the spot. This will be our trigger program. We're going to have these computers programmed that any Jesuit who works on that computer will die. In other words, nobody can work on this computer unless they log on. And as part of the logon process, the computer is going to scan the DNA of the person who's working on the computer. And if they're determined to be a Jesuit or Jesuit supporter, boom, they die. They're just going to, boom, like get a heart attack right on the spot and they're out. So the only people who can work on these computers are going to be non-Jesuits or people that are not for the Jesuits. So we're going to build a computer like that. That'll be our prototype, okay? Okay, and then we're going to make it, we're going to clone this computer and make copies of it, a whole bunch of copies. And we're going to use this, and I don't know how many prototypes you're going to make, because we have different types of computers, like some for the person program, others for space, medicine, but whatever prototypes you need to make them. If we have to build them from bottom up from scratch, and I need scientists, I need you to help me, okay? I need you to help me to build a good prototype computer that we can make copies of to replace the Jesuit computers. Right now, it looks like about 98% of the computers in the world are Jesuit computers, and that's the problem, okay? All Jesuit computers must be destroyed. If they're not destroyed, anybody who willingly and knowingly allows a Jesuit computer to remain functional will be executed. Okay? Then we're going to make prototype computers, which I'm going to call non-Jesuit computers. So, make the prototype computers, and no computer is allowed to have trigger or loophole programming. Any computer that has trigger or loophole programming, and go to sections 59 to 61 of gabrielchana.com/law.666.htm to know what that is, okay? Any computer with trigger or loophole programming must be destroyed. And anybody who willingly and knowingly allows any computer like this to remain will die. Execute them. Death penalty. Okay. We're going to set up scanners to destroy every computer on the earth that is a Jesuit computer, that is infected with Jesuit malware, so that the Jesuits can basically run that computer. Okay? The Jesuits can't do their programming without their computers. We've been trying to fix the computers. They're so messed up, it's hopeless. They need to be destroyed and replaced. Okay? Now, so we're going to find good computers, put shields over these good computers. The shield will be programmed to destroy any unauthorized person who messes with that computer. 3, destroy worldwide all computers that have Jesuit malware or trigger or loophole programming. 4, when you destroy the computer, you may want to switch it out immediately with a good shielded computer. Okay? So here's what we need to do. From what I understand, Matthew McConaughey is fighting for his life because his person program is so infected it's killing him. Like it's a mess. Okay, don't even work on the bad computers anymore, Vladimir. It's a waste of time. Just destroy them. We're going to use the destroy and replace strategy. Okay, number 1. Find good computers with no trigger or loophole programming, no Jesuit malware to replace the destroyed computers. If we have to ground Church of Gail to do this, we will do it. We're going to do what we have to do because this is a serious problem. Okay? Put shields over these good computers. This shield will be programmed to destroy any unauthorized person who messes with the computer. Okay? After you do that, 3, destroy worldwide all computers that have trigger or loophole or Jesuit malware programs that enable the Jesuits to take over that computer and use it. Okay? So we're going to do that. 4, switch out the destroyed computers with good shielded computers. Get to work on this immediately. I believe Matthew McConaughey is fighting for his life. And I believe the Jesuits are using brain control on some of the men on my marriage list so that they're doing things that support the Jesuits right now because their person programs are so messed up they can't distinguish illusion from what's delusion from what's really true. So the Jesuits are having a heyday with the computers all over the world and using them to cause problems. So we need to destroy every Jesuit computer on the earth. Anybody who allows a Jesuit computer to remain standing will be executed, okay? Scientists, computer scientists, astrophysicists, anybody who can help us with this, contact Vladimir Putin. Try Gail, Chord, Schuler, GailChordschuler @gmail.com. Try writing that email. If you can get a hold of Barack Obama or Vladimir Putin, I don't even know if Barack Obama is okay. They might have got him so messed up that what I think they've done is I think they've gotten the person programs of world leaders messed up so that now all the world leaders are like robots following the Jesuits. We got to destroy all these computers worldwide. So if anybody out there, if you still have your sanity and your brain has not been taken over by the Jesuits, I believe that Vladimir Putin is still okay. I don't think they have him yet. I'm not sure about the rest of the men on my marriage list. So if you can get a hold of Vladimir Putin, work with him to destroy, to number 1, find good computers with no trigger, loophole, Jesuit malware to replace destroyed computers. Put shields over these computers. 3, destroy worldwide all computers that have trigger, loophole, Jesuit malware. And then 4, switch out the destroyed computers with good shielded computers. Get to work on this. This is an emergency.